Good day to you. I want to give you a quick tutorial on what a webinar is and how to use it. Now, a webinar is effectively a seminar on the internet. It is the way of the future in terms of how people are going to get their information. And you know, if 15 years ago you had said to someone you want to send them an email and they didn't have an email, it didn't mean email wasn't going to take off. This, I guarantee you, is how information is going to be spread in the 21st century. What will basically happen is an email will arrive in your inbox like this one from IPS. And what I'd suggest is you double click on it, and you can actually see here you've got all the information if you want to read through it. But most importantly, you need to find out where you want to click. So you're available next Tuesday. So you double click on this, and it'll effectively open up that exact page. And what it allows you to do then is you just register for that event. So you say, look, I'm interested, and I want to put my name and details down. So the particular web page opens up. I go down to it, the details down the bottom, and I basically fill in all my details. So it's Scott, my last name is Picken, my email address is scott@yahoo.com, my city is Johannesburg, my country is South Africa, my phone number is 072-575-8719, my purchasing time frame I'd like to buy in the next 1 to 3 months. I have heard about it from IPS. What are you looking for? I'm looking for an investment, and if I've got any questions or comments, I can write them down here. And that then takes me through to the registration page. And you can see it's actually pretty useful. It comes straight through. I can add it to my Outlook calendar, and that's the link that I will actually click on when I'm ready to effectively launch. And if you wait here for a little bit longer, it actually takes you through to the Calvin Manor website. What's important then is that you will actually get a confirmation email. It'll arrive in your inbox, and it'll tell you exactly when the webinar is and how you actually can book for it, etc. And as I said to you, it will arrive in your Outlook. What I'd recommend if you're a first-time user of webinars, certainly 5 or 10 minutes prior to the webinar. So you actually click on it. You can see here this effectively is you can join this webinar now. So I just want to see what's happening there, just to allow me to go back to it. So I can join this webinar. What is going on? Sorry, so this is having a little bit. Anyway, so now you're ready to join the webinar. You click on Join Webinar. And what this will do now is it actually takes you through. Now you can see what's important here is that it says click yes and always a prompt out, and it says downloading components. So now you basically got to sit back and you've got to wait a little bit, and this is where your computer is actually downloading Java pellets. Sometimes it asks you, do you trust the site or whatever? Yes, you do. Just click yes and it allows you to go through. And you can see here the progress of how it's working. If you've got any problems, you can actually go down here and go manually download the software. But I think importantly, now this is why it's so important, if this is your first time you're using a webinar, why it's very important to actually log in 5 or 10 minutes before so that it has time to download. I mean, the first time I did this, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch an internet guru in America. I woke up at 3 o'clock, pressed the button, and unfortunately, as you can see, it takes a little while to download. And what actually happened was that I then missed the first 10 minutes of the seminar, which is not what you actually want. So again, whenever I do one of these events, I will log in 10 or 15 minutes before, and it'll allow you to be able to log in and actually get access to it. So you can actually see here it's downloading. It's nearly halfway through. As I said to you, it's all down to download speeds, which in South Africa are quite slow at the moment, but they are certainly improving. There's new broadband cables coming in, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the way of the future. In America at the moment, Deloitte's use this. They've got the D hour, which they use, and thousands upon thousands of people log in every hour and get latest information about tax and property and all the other important aspects. And it certainly is becoming the way of the future in terms of how people actually view and get information. And the beauty is you don't have to go, sit in a lecture hall. You can do it from the comfort of your home and actually be able to get this information. So you can see there the downloading component is nearly complete. It now says that it's starting. It says the launch was successful. And this is key. It takes, as I say, it takes a little while, but it's talking you all the way through. You don't actually have to physically do anything. You just have to sit and watch and let it actually happen. So it now will be opening. It's verifying and testing the connection. It says verifying web ID. And you can see now it's actually going into the webinar. and most importantly, it's now connecting. So it's just a little step, and I wanted to make this video so that you could watch it actually working. I uninstalled all the software on my machine, so it was as if it was a brand new computer. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the exact screen. I've got another computer here where effectively the presentation is being.
Welcome to GoToWebinar. Web events made easy. Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
So that effectively gives you the information. Now, importantly, you can see everything that's on my screen. So if I write here, hello to your first webinar, you can actually see it coming up there. Importantly enough as well, if you want to write a question, you can say, how do I speak? And you can send it, and that question will actually pop up on my side, and I can effectively I can look at it and then answer the questions in terms of what one's looking at. So here you can go you can't, and you'll actually see there the question comes back up, you can't. You can also, if you want to raise your hand, it's just like any presentation, you can raise your hand and so that I am aware that when I'm doing the webinar that it comes. And ladies and gentlemen, that's really it. Now you sit back, you enjoy, and if you've got questions, you ask them. I can unmute you, but we tend to prefer to do it by writing and by putting your hand up. That is it. That is exactly how a webinar works. And when you're finished and you've had enough, you effectively close it down. And it says, do you want us to leave the webinar? You go, yes. And you have a session already. You cannot, and you go, okay. And what it basically will do is it'll take you through now to a survey just to get an idea as to exactly what it was that you were looking at and whether you enjoyed it, etc., etc. So this will take you through the survey, and then it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a survey form. You fill it in, and that's how it works. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I really look forward to assisting you and giving you plenty of information through our webinars and many other webinars in the future. Good luck and have fun. Thank you.